Corey's coming.
You may dream of being a cowboy, but do you really know what it takes? Join me as we ride into Montana's mountains to gather cattle with real ranchers, and you will find out. I'm Trinity with Life in the West, and today I'm living the cowboy dream, riding into the mountains to gather cattle. I'll show you how it's done, and some practical tips to get you started. If you feel stuck in the city, but are craving the freedom of the cowboy life, then this is for you. 5:40 something in the morning. I got Haven and Heston with me. This is what it looks like when you're trying to catch a black horse in the dark. You suckers, they're gonna try to be hard to catch in the dark, which is always fun. This is where a cowboy's day starts, in the dark. The hotter it is, the worse the cattle are to get to move. So starting very early is important. It's tough, but the feeling of getting this much done at such an early hour really empowers you as well.
Buddy.
Do I need to film this? No. Oh, that's actually pretty good, Chris. That was pretty good. All right, Have. Have fun. Just stay with Emily.
Yep.
Before we get started, there's always the game plan.
I think Haven's gonna end up somewhere else. I gotta send her.
Haven will probably end up going. Oh, I see. Okay.
So if you don't understand exactly what they're talking about, you are definitely not alone. Just ask a lot of questions as you go to make sure you're not in the wrong place.
Okay.
You gotta come with me.
Since the cows are scattered along the top of this ridge, we dropped off a few riders here, and the rest of us went up all the way around so that we met in the middle to drive them off the mountain.
Come on there, buddy. There you go. Good job, buddy. Good job. Oh, there's some in here already. Okay.
So I tighten my cinch just tight enough to keep the saddle on, and then right before I get on a horse, I tighten it all the way up.
How you doing, Tyler? Good. You awake this morning? No, not yet.
Any horse can act up, but I ride horses like Cowboy who have a little bit more fire to them, so I like to always have their head turned just slightly. When a horse's head is perfectly straight, they can start jumping away from you, and it's very difficult to get a hold of them. But if you have their head turned to the side, very difficult for them to get all four legs going and get to bucking or something like that.
And we got 3 dogs with us.
Dogs can be a huge help and a huge hindrance. If they're not good dogs, they will be more trouble than they're worth. But good dogs like this are really handy in the timber. You run into problems when you bring your dog to help a rancher because he has his dogs already. Large groups of dogs from different people don't mix very well, so make sure you ask before you bring a dog along on one of these trips. You can cause a wreck or lots of wrecks very quickly and never get invited back.
We're just going to try to get these to go uphill instead of downhill. These cows are wanting to go down that way, and we actually want them up that way. So we're not moving these anywhere. We just want to leave them here. But they're trying to follow us. There you go. Go up on there. Yep, yep. There we go. That's where they're supposed to go, right, Tyler? Yeah? You guess? This is why you gotta have shoes on when you're riding in the mountains, because it's just solid rock. So old Cowboy, he's not old, but Cowboy here, he's doing good today. He's fat as a butterball turkey. I can feel his belly against my legs. That's how fat he is, which is way fatter than usual. But now he's walking fast because he's behind. He doesn't like to walk fast, but now he's behind. Corey's way up there, so he's picking him up and putting him down. Yeah, I knew you could do it, Cowboy. I knew you could do it. You can see that little patch of timber way over there. That's where we got to go. There's 3 cows in it, but we're going this way because we got to go all the way around to get there. This was an old mine site, so you can see the mining shacks. It was actually a town. Come here. Come on. was a huge mine back in the around 1900. So you wouldn't think so, but horses love the tops, the flowers on these things. See that? They have to be careful with them because they're spiny, but they love the tops of those Canadian thistle. Will he eat the whole thing?
Yeah, that's why you can't cut across.
Yeah, that's why you can't cut across there, because as you can see, riding through that would not work. That is some tough stuff to go through. Okay. You don't need anything else?
No, I shouldn't.
Okay.
All trained. My dog.
I got a lot of instruction there, but I'm not sure if I followed all of it. So we'll just go up here and go through the gate and then down the ridge and see if we see any cattle. I'm leading his horse, and he's going to walk around through this thick timber over here just to see if there's cows over hiding in the timber over there. I haven't figured out a really good way to lead a horse and talk to the camera yet.
Just listen to this soundtrack that has been happening for thousands of years.
Come on, cows. Come on, cows. Hip, 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 hip. Hip, 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 hip. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Ugh. I'm trying to lead this horse too.
When moving cows, you can picture it like having a scare circle around you. Some cows you need to be closer to, some cows are further away. But where you want them to go, you kind of use your scare circle to direct them. So you need to be on the side that you want them to go away from.
Hey, cow. Hip, 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 hip. Hey, cows. Hip, 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 hip. I don't know, I'm thinking probably this is where he's gonna come out, but he might come out a little down a little further. So you stay here. You just point your horse that way if you need to. Point him around. You got him?
Yeah.
Okay, and just ride over that hill just a little bit. I'll yell at you if you're supposed to come this way, okay? He pees more than any horse in the world, I think. And so we push those off. They're going. Tyler's over there. He's going to wait for his dad to come up. I'm hoping that's where he meant to come up. I think maybe it's this meadow here, but that's a little patch of timber. It was a little cliff and a little patch of timber and then an opening. So that sounds right. Problem is those are the directions you get up here. Are like, okay, you go past the big rock. It's like, which big rock? There's going to be several big rocks as we go, but that's the hardest thing to teach a horse, is how to go completely off by themselves and be happy with it. No, that's why it takes a lot of miles of just doing it, just being by themselves, making them be okay with it. You can see about 20 miles that way. All right. Pick our way through these rocks a minute and see if we can see where these cows were. There's some cows up there. If Corey's coming. Dang quail decided to bust out of there. And he went to jumping. That kind of stuff is hard to deal with more when you have a camera, because you need another hand somewhere, and you don't want to throw your camera down. Well, my legs tightened up on that one. I gotta get these cows off right here. Oh, those are moving. Oh, there's the dogs. Yep, they're right there. Okay. Yep, Corey found his son. He's right there. I'll kick these off and meet them. They're right over there. See them? There's one hiding up here. Oh, come on, come on. Just gonna have to get around her because she's going totally the wrong way. Well, she'd be okay if she'd cut off here. Yep, 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 yep. No, no. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep. With cows is they don't like to, they're a herd animal, but they don't like to just like stay in a herd all together. A few big holes right here. Big holes in the ground. Gotta watch that. Sheesh. Fell in a hole. Gotta watch where I'm going, not just the cattle.
I'm so glad you were here.
Yeah, I don't know how you were gonna get around those.
This is a lot steeper than it looks. On cameras, always make it look less steep. So I was on the very top of this ridge, and I saw these cows coming up the fence line in front of her. You just saw how difficult it is to go fast in this country. There's so many rocks and so many holes that getting around these cows to turn them off the fence is almost impossible for somebody who's behind them.
Hey, cows, hey, 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 yep. Yep, 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 yep. Run right to the trees.
I hope they move like that now.
Yeah, me too. Wait till they go by ya. I think they're gonna turn anyway. Yeah, thank goodness. Yep, they're just running. That's another horse, Calabar. You don't need to be scared of him. Sounds like what they're gonna do is they're just gonna send two people ahead. There must be a place where they have to turn. So, and sometimes once you get them moving, you can't get ahead of them, especially in this country, because you'd have to go around and through the rocks and the timber and everything, and that would not be practical. So it's better if you put somebody out in front to turn them when they get there. So you see all these trees that are cut and just left laying here. This is because of what we call conifer encroachment. People think that you always need more and more trees. The Western United States has so many more trees than it used to, and it should sustain. It sucks up way too much water and causes a lot of problems. So a lot of times the government will come up here and just cut them down, or private people will hire others to just cut them down, because logging is impractical in a lot of places. They're making logging really, really hard, especially in these western states. They're just shutting them down because they're getting sued all the time. So they just chop it up and leave it. Now this timber here wouldn't be good for lumber anyway, but I guess we're going to start moving them across over there. Yep, 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 yep. Hey, 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 hey. Yep. This is the same one. They're starting to move now. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, yep. When they walk through this sagebrush, you can really smell it. They're breaking it off, and I don't know if you've ever smelled sagebrush. It's a very unique smell. Yep, yep, yep. Hey, 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 hey. Reminds me of place where I was born, Conrad, because there was so much sagebrush there. We go to the rodeo called Hoop Up Days, and when you went to Hoop Up Days, that's all you smelled was sagebrush. It was like a hot sagebrush smell. You can push them, but that isn't usually doing you much good. So if you kind of let them, when they're moving, you let them move. So the first part is the gather. This part is the move, so the drive. Cattle don't like to go just where you want them to. You want them to go side hill, they want to go up or downhill. So you have to make them go where you want them to, which takes a lot of work. What you got to watch out for, what we're doing is we're making sure that we don't get ahead of any calves, because calves will turn backwards and some cows will try to stop and let you ride by. So you got to just keep all the tail end moving. Well, now I'm covered in spider webs. I think Calabar's figured out that if he wants to stop, he can just pee. You gotta make sure you have people in the front though, because otherwise the front would start meeting you coming back around this hill or something. You'd be pushing this side and the front would be coming back around.
Now we're done with the open country and we have to go down through this thick timber, which is very difficult to get cows to move through, especially when it's hot like this, because they just want to stop in the shade of these trees. They do not want to go downhill or move out of the shade. So this makes it way more difficult. And it takes a lot of work.
I could make him walk through that, but he'd probably skin his leg up a little bit, so we're gonna go back this way. We're just assuming that they're going on the trail somewhere down there. Hip, 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 hip. Hey, 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 hey. Get up there, hey, hey, hey. Hip, 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 hip. Hey! Whew, that's tight. See, he can fit through that, but I'm not sure I can. Hey, 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 hey! Go towards the red calf. Right, ride straight down.
Haven actually did what we were asking her to do, but she later said that it was so loud with the cows that she had no idea what we were saying. She just did it anyway.
There you go. There you go. Hip, 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 hip.
When I was young, my daddy said, gotta keep one eye open in your bed, 'cause there's a time coming when the devil gonna come for you. So my trigger finger, stay prepared. I've got my weapon and I got my prayers.
I got a spider crawling in my ear.
'Cause if you don't run this town, they'll walk all over you. Run out loud, gotta run on. Keep on running till the sun goes down. Run out loud, better run on. Run all day till you can't be found.
Okay, sit rep. We finally made it down that hill. I had to put my camera mount broke, so I had to put the camera in the saddlebag so I could take out the bull whip or the stock whip and start making some big noise in them trees to get them going down that hill. Whew. That was a little lower than I thought. Yeah, my saddle horn was in. I was touching my saddle horn.
I almost just lost my hat. So.
That squished me.
Yeah.
Ow. That hurt. So they're going through the gate right there.
Yeah, he's in the good.
At least get him across the creek and make sure nothing's going up the creek.
So you don't want to go in the back next time, huh? With all the dust?
I now have a headache from all the dust.
Do ya?
So,
You
yeah.
weren't even in the thick of the dust. I was in the thick of the dust.
Yeah.
Me and Haven were like, normally I don't, but I'm gonna stretch my legs for just a second. Coming down that hill, and after shoeing him yesterday, my legs are all weak and shaky. Shake and weaky. All weak and shaky. And then riding down that hill, they're kind of need a break. They're getting a little stiff. I told Haven, that's far enough. You don't have to do it anymore. But that's not actually the case, is it? Now we got to go further.
I was doing my job.
That's right. We got to go to the top of this mountain.
You said about a half a mile up.
Yeah, I was actually just being sarcastic.
Well, I took it.
So today the objective was to get them to this pasture, and then of course you don't want them sitting right on the creek, so push them up the mountain a little ways. We're going to push them past the vehicles up here and then leave them there. Are they tricky to eat? Yeah? What about that one? You going to get that one?
I thought about it, but I wasn't going.
Yep. You got to see how pokey these are. They're just super pokey. You can see that. All right, we're almost there. We're almost there. I said that a couple times, but this is where we're going right here. This meadow right here. And from there they can wander up through that and up to the top over there too. All right, now they're up there. Heston is just like, he seems like my dad. He's just trying to goof off on the horse to see, make sure if it would spook or do something stupid, he would make it do that. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got that gene in him.
He must have that gene in him a little bit. But they're sandwiches.
You have to eat a sandwich and then go back and get a handful of chips and then go back and get a handful of grapes.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Was it steep?
Going downhill?
Was it?
Not as steep as I thought.
Oh.
I thought the first part at the cattle guard was more scary.
That was pretty steep, wasn't it? I watched a TED Talk the other day that was talking about the fact that if we didn't have any animals, then we could just farm everything. Oh yeah? You're gonna farm that? And even if we could, why would we farm this gorgeous, beautiful country up here? Why wouldn't we use it to grow grass and then eat the animals that can produce meat and protein from the grass?
If this inspired you, take the first step. Join the Life in the West community for gear tips, gear discounts, and how to make this life yours. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and watch this next video. I think you'll enjoy it.